I have a few questions which I wanted to ask you so that it will help a lot of students like me. So ma'am, the first question is about Multibhashi. Like, how did you start it up? What was the idea behind it?
To begin the story, I myself come from a very small town, Jaipur, Rajasthan, right? Where English is a big challenge.
Okay.
And while I was growing up, I was fortunate enough to have a lot of interest in English, which is why I could do well in my studies, in my career thereafter.
Okay.
So once I got married, I moved to Delhi. I worked with a couple of corporates. I co-founded an investment bank with my husband, where we were advising startups and raising funds. During that time, I took a break around 2016 because of my second child.
Okay.
And during that break, I happened to visit back to Jaipur and interact with a couple of my family friends who expressed this desire to be better at spoken English. I tried to guide them to various options that were already available in the market. But for them, the biggest context was that these apps or these websites were not being able to give them the power to speak up in a real life situation. They were teaching them vocabulary, they were teaching them grammar, but nobody was solving a spoken English problem for them. So I started small content pieces for them. I started dialogue and started sharing it. Then I got involved. I started creating animation videos out of it. And besides sharing it with them, I also started posting it on Facebook, thinking anybody who needs help can also use it.
Okay.
Then the Facebook page really took off, and a lot of people started coming and requesting that we want this content not just in Hindi but Bangla as well, but the languages as well. So at that point in time, my content was basically Hindi English. So that's how the Facebook page took off and more requests started coming in. That's what I decided that there is a huge market and there is definitely a gap which can be filled through better bilingual teaching methodologies. And that's how Multibhashi is done.
Ma'am, as you mentioned, like you come from a small town, and we have a college which is also in a very small town. But there are a lot of entrepreneurs who are very much interested, but they find a big gap between a startup which is getting out from Bangalore, then a startup which is getting out from a small town like Dhanbad in Jharkhand. So, ma'am, how do you see this gap, and what do you recommend those aspiring entrepreneurs?
So I believe that even from my small town of Jaipur, there have been like big startups that are emerging out of that small town of Rajasthan. In fact, one of our biggest peers, Hello English, which has raised more than $6.5 million of funding, comes from Jaipur, Rajasthan. So I think location is no longer a challenge for anybody who wants to do something in life.
Yeah.
Because of internet availability, because of, all you need is a good computer and a couple of good team members or co-founders with whom you can start working on a good idea which solves a real problem in the world.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, just like you started with Facebook.
Yes, exactly. So I started off with just a Facebook page. So the only challenge I see is finding like-minded people, which is my city, and being a capable team out of there. But which again can be solved through the power of internet, where you can actually lure people from the big cities to come to your city and work with you. So I don't see, gone are the days when you could give excuses like I'm from a small town, I don't have enough to do in the family, I don't have any guidance. You have Google Baba to solve all your problems.
Exactly. And just you mentioned like finding the perfect team. So how do you see a college as a place of finding a perfect team?
Friendship should not be a criteria to start a business together. When you're starting up, the biggest criteria that you should have is, number one, whether people who are joining you are passionate about the cause that you're working towards or not. Equally passionate like you are passionate about the cause. The second criteria should be complementary skills.
Okay.
If you and your friend are both good at coding, then you to find more team members. Because you will need marketing skills, you will need selling skills, you will need financial skills, you will need people who can actually put in operations. So you need a complementary skill set team necessarily be among your friend circle itself. So, having said that, people first look around their circle only. When they start up a startup, they look for team members in their immediate family, in their immediate friend circle. But that should not limit your horizons. You should widen your horizons and look for people beyond your circle as well.
Exactly. So, ma'am, just you mentioned like you were a part of Dexter Capital Advisor, and it was a platform which provided fund to the young age entrepreneurs. So, whenever I talk to some entrepreneurs, especially in our college or the young entrepreneurs, the biggest buzzword is funding. So, what is the criteria? What is the one thing which a investor looks into for a startup?
So, Ankit, I believe that this is the latest fad among youngsters that, I in fact, while I was working at Dexter, I used to find people coming up with a one-pager on their idea, right? And demanding that they should be funded because they have a brilliant idea. So ideas are not funded. People are funded, right? Passion is funded. Your work is funded. If you've actually made considerable headway with your idea, right, in a jukadu way, in a bootstrap manner, then only people take you seriously. So, a few criteria that an investor looks at when he's about to write a check. The number one criteria is definitely the team. What kind of people are involved? What is their caliber? What is their past performance? Even if they are starting up for the first time or they don't have any career, they should be passionate enough. They should be bootstrapping, shouldn't be drawing any salary out of the startup, and they should have made some amazing headway with their idea, right? Instead of just changing up, they might have. So it could be as small as convincing a set of people to try their services or try their product, right? It might be as simple as making somebody pay for what they have built. But the investor definitely looks for some kind of validation of the idea. The second biggest criteria is the market that they are looking to cater to. The market size has to be considerably high in order to attract the investor. If you're working on an idea which doesn't have a ready market, which doesn't have willing customers who will be paying for those services, then the investor might not look at it, because generally VCs are looking for highly scalable products because they are looking at 10x, 20x returns on their money, right? So these are a couple of ideas. Third is the involvement of tech in the idea. So you might have a scalable market and you might have a good team in place, but if your solution doesn't involve tech, it is a general belief among the investor circle that without the use of technology, you will not be able to scale your operations to a large extent. So these are the three major criteria that the investors look for. Of course, beyond that, they look at your vision, they look at what kind of projections you have. Do you have a really good GTM strategy in place? What is the skill set? Is it complementary skill set among the team members? All those things are looked at.
So, ma'am,